Hey you guys, this is Rafael from Shiloh You asked for it, so here it is. It doesn't show up well. All you can see is basically a little dot, but these are two very rare Civil War buttons. And I'm gonna do some buttons. I'm gonna have to use the larger pictures like this throughout because you just can't see them otherwise. I wanted to do these today because it's rare that you see one, much less both versions of something. So today we're going to talk about an original Civil War Arkansas State Seal uniform button. A lot of the states like New York, Massachusetts, even South Carolina and Virginia had a lot of buttons. A lot of variations, and they're perfect for collecting. But if you're going to get an original Civil War Arkansas State Seal, you've got one version to get. And it's the version that was listed in Albert's button book, which was put out in 1976, the father of button reference books, as AK1. And in Tice's button book, Warren Tice, that did an amazing job with help from guys like Dan Bender, great folks that put that book together. He listed as an AK200. And these buttons were made right before the Civil War broke out. They were made through contract with Horseman and Aileen of New York. They only show up with one backmark. This is the backmark you want to see. It's Horseman and Aileen with an NY. They show up actually on a few buttons. They show up on this Arkansas button. They show up on a Union staff. They show up on a New York button, and maybe one or two others, but not many. And they're best known for this because it's the one that collectors cherish. There's not a lot of them out there. You very rarely see one happen to have both of them. Both versions, because they made one that is super gilded. And gilded just means that it's dipped in gold to give it that extra finish like this. And it just goes boom. You can just see the detail work in it. And there's another version, same button, same backmark, same construction, everything, that was just coated with a coat of lacquer. And in Tice's book, he actually mentions that this is the case. And this is the one coated with lacquer. So you see both versions side by side like, ta-da! I've never had them both at the same time. So I'm fortunate to get to give this information to you. As for Arkansas, I did a little reading on Arkansas just a few minutes ago and learned some stuff I didn't know, so I'm going to share it with you because otherwise it's going to be a 3-minute video and you won't learn as much as if you listen to the next 3 minutes. 1803, the Louisiana Purchase was made. Not only did we get Louisiana, we got Arkansas too. Not too bad if you've ever been over there and had some of the barbecue in Little Rock or tooled around the state. It actually, speaking of state, it became a state in 1836. 1820, they adopted a seal for it. It was done by a guy named Samuel Calhoun Roan. And as you can see, it's a beautiful seal. These buttons actually have across the top, they have Arkansas. And then down at the bottom, it says Regnant Populus. Again, it's Latin. Didn't do a lot of Latin, as you can tell by my accent, but it means the people rule. And they have always been strong-headed out there. My Arkansas buddies know I'm not making that up. Great state, though. A few years ago, we did an Antiques Roadshow in Little Rock. Got to go over and actually have dinner at the governor's house that was the governor before Bill Clinton, and I can't remember his name, but super nice man, super nice lady. They treated us like we were royalty, and it was so nice because they collect antiques, and they were just very nice people. As most of the people I've met in Arkansas have been very kind to me. So, these buttons, Arkansas State Seal, what's on the state seal? It has a shield, and on the shield, it has a steamboat, a plow, a beehive, and a sheaf of wheat. That's on the shield. It's got eagles on each side, and up above the shield, it's got the goddess of liberty. And she's got the staff with the Liberty cap on the top. Beautiful seal. As you can see, look at the detail. They're just gorgeous. These buttons were not made by Horseman and Eledge. They were made for them. And that happened a lot because a lot of those big retailers like Horseman, they didn't want to screw with making buttons. They could hire that out and have it done. Who made these? It's believed that these were made by Steele and Johnson. Steele and Johnson was a very crafty button maker. They were in Waterbury, Connecticut. So your Arkansas State seal you covet was actually made in Connecticut right before the war. And there is a rare Confederate-made Confederate-made Arkansas, but it's a regimental, no state seal. It looks like this. I've got one of these right now too, and it's probably one of the top 5 most desirable buttons of the Civil War. Go on there and read about that one, but we're going to talk about these for a little bit longer. So, bought in 1803 with a Louisiana Purchase, became a state in 1836. Arkansas, what does it mean? It's actually a Quapaw word, Quapaw, Native American Indian, meaning downstream people. So those downstream people in Arkansas wore this button. You can go on to Shiloh Relics and check this button out because I've got multiple pictures of it and you can see the angles and the shank. They're beautiful. And they usually show up in very nice shape. They were extremely scarce until when I first got into it in the late 80s. There was a buddy of mine that found a coat with these on it and it had dozens. And he trimmed them all off and sold them individually. I know, but at the time they were bringing $5,000 or $6,000 a piece. So you can't blame him that much. The true historian in us would rather have left them on the coat, but sometimes you got to. But they have all been sold off individuals. They've been in collections, and very rarely do you see them offered for sale. You got to find one where, like this one, the one with all the gold. I just picked it back up. I had it years ago, sold it to the fella, and he decided to let a few things go, and I was able to get it back. So, yay! And that's the only job in the world where you sell stuff and you're excited about getting it back because you wouldn't have bought it the first time if you didn't like it. And I like these. So next time you get a chance, go through the Diamond State, Arkansas. And I don't think it's a Diamond State. But they got a Diamond Park because outside of there, they actually have a place where you can go sift and find diamonds, which is pretty cool. I appreciate each one of you guys. I got a chance to spend a few minutes with my parents today, and these have really helped me because you guys have ended up being part of my therapy. I can share things with you guys, and I do them at the end, so if you don't like it, cut it off. You don't have to listen to anything else besides the military stuff. But I got to spend some time with my parents today. And the older I get, the more thankful I am for any minute that I get to spend with my parents. Because when you're with them, all those memories come back and you think about the times when you were little. And Dad brought some pictures over for me today, like this, of me when I was young and skinny and had a lot of hair. But the times that you get to spend with them. And it made me think of what the next generation will think about us. And I know I'm the world's worst about having somewhere I need to be, and I need to be writing up something, or I need to be going to a show. We all need to slow down because we need to make those memories. When somebody is no longer with you, all you have are those memories. And this brings me to my number point. It's hard enough if you lose someone because they're gone. But it's extra hard if you lose someone because they chose not to be there. There's so many people that are so close to giving up that something tells me I need to say this. And if there is one person out there that is close to giving up and God forbid taking their own life, please don't do it. Because you can't fathom the void that one person can leave in this world. You can't imagine how many people it affects when that person is gone. Because you have become a constant in people's life that you never realize you were a constant for. And I know through personal experience that when that happens, you can never be truly finished. And I've lost people that I love, lost my grandma, lost both my grandparents, and that loss was horrible. But never leave those that you love. And if you need help, please seek help, because there's people out there that care. Hell, if you're at the end of your rope, you call me. I would do anything to prevent you, the ones that love you, from going through any kind of hell that it is to have someone leave you. And I'm sorry, I rambled a little bit longer than I meant to. It's just been on my heart. And like I said, you guys have become my therapy. I'm going to get y'all's bill for me being on y'all's couch. But I love you. People care about you. A lot of times people care about you that you never thought would care about you. And they do. So remember that. If you need help, there's nothing shameful about asking for help. The shame is that more of us don't ask for help, because all of us need it one way or another. I love you guys, and I'll catch you next time.